First of all, welcome everybody. We appreciate you showing up today. It's a pretty big day for us. This is a regular Bardstown Rotary Club meeting, and we're going to conduct it as such, but we have a lot of guests today. And we do have a jam-packed meeting today, so try to move it as quickly as possible. The reason we picked today is that there's a lot of topics we could talk about. Obviously, you know, there's sexual abuse, there's family abuse, domestic abuse, there's abuse in the workplace, violence and things of that nature, teen issues, but every one of them came to the root cause of one thing, and it was drug and opioid abuse. So that's how we sort of settled on today's topic. And the day we picked today wasn't exactly an accident that we picked today. We several of us met, and today is the start of what's called National Red Ribbon Week, and that's the awareness of drug, alcohol, and tobacco use, and that's how we picked this particular day as being part of the drug awareness that we're trying to do. So what we really hope to do today is start a discussion. And so Jim Hagan does a fine job of collecting garbage here, so we appreciate that. So start a discussion, and again, nothing may come out of it. Nothing at all may happen, but the worst thing can happen, we get a great meal from Susie Q's and everybody gets a chance to talk. But the best thing that could happen is we get a few people that say, okay, you know, let's do something. Let's get together. The Rotary Club wants to be a part of it. And if anybody else wants to join in, they don't have to be a Rotarian to do this, to join in, maybe have a task force of some sort. Really, we have no answers, but we do have a start. And our start is today, and we hope that we can get the right people together, because we've got a good cross-section of people here today, doctors, lawyers, people from the EMS, the fire department. We've got people here from the city council. We've got people here from county government. We've got people here from just about every walk of life. The media appreciate them being here. And also the health departments, which, by the way, the Heartland Trail ASAP, which Jennifer Osborne works at the health department, and Laura Sedlacek worked on this as well, is paying for half this bill today. So half of this is being paid for the Rotary Club, the other half by Heartland ASAP, which is a division of Kentucky Aging for Substance Abuse. So a lot of people involved. So I can't say enough about everybody that's come out and doing this today. So what I'm going to do is shut up and turn it over to people that actually know what they're talking about. So right now, I want to introduce somebody that's local before we get too far into the meeting. We do have a group called United for Recovery. And the ironic thing is United for Recovery is basically a volunteer group. And the lady that runs it, that helped put this on, the lady that basically was one of the people that was in the planning process, had to work today. Because this is not a full-time job for her. We don't have somebody that does this full-time. It's a volunteer job. She wasn't able to make it. But in her place, I got Miss Lisa Salas here. So if Lisa wants to come up and say a few words about what United for Recovery does, we can do that. And just basically tell us what's going on in your county, in this county.
Actually, I'm not Lisa.
Okay, let's close it up. It won't be the first mistake I make today.
Like you said, we are a volunteer-based program. We started about 3 years ago. And we were told to give a few statistics of what's going on in our county. But first, in 2017, there were 1,160 reported deaths from opiates. This is at a rate of 27.9 deaths per 100,000 people. In that same report, they said Nelson County had a death rate for opiate overdose of 41.6. That's almost half of our people that are dying because of opiate overdoses. And that is only the ones that are reported. There are several out there that may be reported as something else versus a substance use disorder. We have asked the jailer at one time how many of our inmates are incarcerated with substance use crimes. There was an average of 7 people per day locked up in substance use related charges. The ages range from 21 to 56. 27 are male and 15 are female. Studies has also shown that the majority of people that start experimenting with drugs is around middle school. So as our group, we have gone to the schools, we've tried to educate the teachers, the nurses, just to get them ready. This is very scary. It's scary for our community because if you have someone that is using substances, they've got to find the money to purchase the substances somewhere. So your businesses might be getting robbed. You have people going into the local businesses and maybe overdosing. You have people outside of your business doing drug deals. This is very, very discouraging, but I think as a community we can work together and pull all of our resources and maybe nip this in a bud before it gets way out of control. I went to a convention one time about a year ago, and they said that the deaths for United States for opiate overdoses, we are losing more people to that than we lost in the entire Vietnam War in just 1 year. Very, very serious stuff, and we do have to come together. So I thank you. If you want to join up with our group, we need a lot of volunteers because we just kind of rotate whenever we can. So, but thank you very much.
As Terry Adams, and we appreciate Terry being here today. Like I said, it won't be my first. I'm still trying to figure out who burned down Cheryl's she shed. All right, well, our partner in this today is when we first started doing this, it just didn't come by accident that I did this. We had somebody that I was going to work with very closely that has been with city government for the last year and made it part of her agenda to do this. And so that's the first person I thought about teaming up with. So I called Betty and I said, Betty, what can we do? So we talked about doing this. She got her speaker today, so I'm going to let her get up and say a few words, introduce the speaker she's got with her today. So ladies and gentlemen, my cohort in crime on this, our Councilwoman, Miss Betty Hart.
First, I want to thank Kenny and the Rotary Club for hosting us today. This is a wonderful way to bring us all together. Some of us in this room may have a personal experience with a family member or a friend that suffers from addiction. Others may not understand the heartbreak. Yesterday, October 22nd, was the 1 month anniversary of a young Bardstown man, Ryan Brady, losing his battle to addiction. His mom, Cheryl, and his sister, Kristen, have very bravely stepped forward to share their story in hopes of saving another life and a family from the heartbreak they've experienced. Please welcome Cheryl and Kristen.
I don't really know what to say. I guess nobody's ever really prepared for this. She said it's 1 month, 1 day since a little piece of my heart, left, and I won't see him for a very long time. And he struggled with the addiction since 2011. And 2.5 years ago, a little longer than that now, he got sober. He got sober and he got clean. And most of y'all might not know the difference in that. Some of you might. He didn't smoke. He quit energy drinks. He wouldn't go to functions that had alcohol. He didn't want to be involved in any of it, and he was an active member in several of his, Narcotics Anonymous groups, Alcohol Anonymous groups. He was an advocate for young people. He did the Young People in Recovery. He chaired several meetings in the city of Bardstown. And it was one slip, just one mess up that took his life. My brother was the one that did drugs outside of 5 Star and overdosed and sat there for 11 hours and rotted. And that's just how raw it is. That's how nasty it is, and that's how vicious it is. The disease. It's vicious. It's nasty. There's a stigma that you can't talk about it, that it's shameful, and I was, everybody knows that I would be the first one to call Ryan out on any of his stuff, anything. I didn't go to bat for him unless I knew that he was trying. But he knew that I had his back with this. He knew that he could come to me whenever he had a mess up or he relapsed, and I would help him. I bought him a car. I did, and I wouldn't say that I enabled him in any way. I just think that he felt like my home and my mother's home was his safe place. He knew that he could go there and he couldn't do drugs there. It wasn't like a friend's house that he could just go and do drugs and freely, do whatever. And that September 22nd, he left my mom's house. And Sunday morning that we had plans all day and got drugs from a drug dealer and parked in 5-star parking lot and shot up. I don't know what it was yet. We don't know if it was meth or heroin. He had a history with both. Either or, whatever. And lost his life. He got there about 8:30, 9, and by 9:40 there was no movement in the car. And he sat there until 7 o'clock that night. He sat there and rotted. And I don't think anybody deserves that. It doesn't matter if they've stole from you. It doesn't matter if they stole from your business. Everybody's human, and I don't think anybody deserves that. He made that choice. He did that himself. But I'm here today to say it has to stop. The stigma has to stop. I don't want to talk about it. It has to stop. Because it's a disease. It's a disease. It's a disease. It's a disease. I cannot say that enough times for people to get it. In 2.5 years, he wrote 6 or 7 journals every single day. He wrote every single day a little paragraph. And I probably shouldn't have read those, but we'll talk about that later. And he said, like on Father's Day, for instance, he said, it's Father's Day. I got to see my girls today. They don't deserve me. They deserve somebody better. Even though he was such a great person. He was a good person. He was very smart. He worked 2 jobs to provide for his children and his family and had a sick. And then all of a sudden he was an addict, a junkie, that they were talking about in the newspaper or they were talking about on Facebook. He was a nasty person. He wasn't a human. He wasn't a brother. He wasn't a son. He wasn't a father. He was junkie, an addict. And people think that there's no hope. People think that just because they're an addict, don't shoot them with Narcan because they don't deserve it. They're just going to do it again. And my brother was one hell of an advocate to say, we do recover. They do recover. If it wasn't for the drug court system that we have in Nelson County, we wouldn't have had the 2.5 years of Ryan that we had. It wouldn't have happened. He would have died a long time ago because he told us he has 2 options, sobriety or death. And he was sober for 2.5 years. And I don't want you all to think that I mean sober as in he was on methadone or Suboxone. No. He was sober. He didn't relapse. He was sober. He went to meetings 3 or 4 times a week. It wasn't that he slipped up. Every once in a while, once a week, he would slip up or what, and then he'd go back to sobriety. He was completely sober for 2.5 years. He slipped up that one time, and it completely took his life. And he sat in that car at 5-star and rotted. And my mom had to bury a son, and I had to bury a brother. But most importantly, he had 3 children that had to bury a father. And I don't really know what the Rotary Club does. I don't know what I need to do. don't know who to talk to. I don't know, I guess nobody really knows the answer to it. I have friends that are suffering with it, and they call and try to talk to me about it, and I'm like, I wish that there was an answer that I could say, do this, it works. They'll be clean in 2 minutes. It's not the food. It's not, you can't fix them, and that's what sucks the most. But we can support them. We don't have to enable them, but we can support them. We can be there for them. I knew that I wasn't going to enable him, but if he needed somewhere to sleep that night, my couch was always open, whether my kids were there or not. It's a stigma. It's horrible that we can't just talk about it. There's people that want to cover it up, and then it gets worse. And I truly, truly believe that that's why we had 2.5 years with Ryan's, because we forced him. My mom would have him arrested. She would call the law at her from my grandmother's front porch. He got arrested because he knew that we didn't tolerate that. We wouldn't put up with it. We didn't enable him. We just loved him. We supported him. He didn't invite many people to his 1 year sober. He chaired a meeting that night. He didn't invite anybody to it. I didn't know about it. I was driving through town one night about 6:30, and he called me and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "Nothing." He said, "Well, my 1 year sober meeting is in about 10 minutes. Can you come?" He didn't want it. And then we took a picture, after. He's like, "Don't post that on Facebook," because he didn't want to be patted on his back, and those were his exact words. "I don't want to be patted on my back for something I should have done a long time." He wanted to be clean. He wanted to be sober. He wanted it so bad that he fought it every single day. Whenever I went through his things after he passed away, in his notebooks, he had notebooks and journals of 12-step over and over and over. He would start his 12-step exactly back at step 1 every time he relapsed. In the midst of all that, the journals and the keychains and the bracelets, the many, many bracelets that he had were doctor bills, and he was trying to get his credit score up. Stuff with his kids, he was trying to get more time with his kids, and child support, things like that we deal with every single day as humans, as members of society. We deal with those things every single day. Property taxes, water bills, bills, right? Your car breaks down, your air conditioner goes out. We deal with those things every day, but we don't deal with those things on top of trying to get clean and sober from and fighting this battle of addiction. He did that on top of the burden that he was dealing with every single day. And I think that something can be done. I think that there has to be an answer, right? We have to come together as a community and know, yes, my brother was one of those that overdosed outside of a business. My brother probably sold from some of your businesses. But he's still human. He's still a person. He's still my brother. He's still a son, father. I don't give a damn about the business. I'm sorry, I don't. I give a damn about my brother and his sobriety. And I'm sorry if he stole from one of your businesses. And I'm sorry that he overdosed outside of 5-Star. I don't care. I don't care if it's bad publicity. I don't care. I'm not against, I'm not mad at 5-Star workers. We don't know why he chose that spot. We have no idea. But I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad that it was in their parking lot or outside of their, I don't care about that. He sat there and rotted for 11 hours. And I think that we can do something. I think that if we see how nasty and raw and vicious it is and don't cover it up, we can do something.